morning, fishy friends. Welcome to your morning's entertainment. Grab your croissants, pancakes, or Vegemite on toast and wake up to today's host, that buttery smooth groovy cat, Mr. Salem.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this morning's entertainment. We're back once again after yesterday with Nikki. I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was actually the day before now, technically. Maybe. I don't remember. But we're back anyway for not Nikki for once in a very long time. Um, yes, there's that. We're here for spooky stuff now. We're back for spooky stuff. Back as in back since last October. So that's what we're back for today. And also to enter a world of pure imagination. But yes. Oh, the flippin' bot thing, I saw it as soon as, and then, so of course, the thing's still going. So it should have still done the thing in Discord, but it didn't. Sakura will get upset with me. But for some reason, it still did the ad one through my one because it connects with mine, and it's like, oh, be careful with the ads. Not be careful. Thanks for staying through the ads, but it didn't have it didn't do the recap thing. So wow, I went in and I checked the thing, and apparently they have a new thing. They have something to do with the quiz that I think I only very quickly read it, where chat can trigger a quiz for me. I think I'll have to have a look at that next stream, before next stream, to see what that's all about. But yes. Anyway, congratulations, Big White Bear, on coming first. I hope that you're going well and wonderful this early morning. I mean, it's almost afternoon, so it's not early morning, but still. And Mr. Salem, are you the rabbit who's late in Alice in Wonderland? Oh, Willy Wonka. Yes, no, this is Willy Wonka. Yes. I'd need one of my pocket watches for what's it called. Well, actually, the name of the outfit, because of, licensing and whatnot, is Factory Owner. It is the Factory Owner costume. And I have my cane as well, my walking stick. This is actually one of my ones. However, this is one of my fancy ones, my fanciest one that I have never been able to use because it arrived broken like 5 years ago when I got it. And unfortunately, that was around the whole coronavirus time. So getting it sent back to get fixed and everything, and things just got delayed and put off, and then it was too late. And so I've got the other end. Like it's missing about that much, which is a problem because that's too much. So I still can't actually use it. But it's actually a really nice one that's done from like 3 different Australian native woods, I believe. But yes, I'll get it fixed one day. But still, if we don't look at that end, then it's still all good. Whoa, let's go to my whole factory and be careful. Make sure you sign the waivers. You might fall into a vat of chocolate or turn into a blueberry or something like that. I haven't seen the main one in a very long time. I saw Wonka earlier this year. It was one of the last movies I saw before my Xbox broke. I think it was actually the last movie that it played in full before it started having its issues, and now I can't watch any movie in full on it because it dies after 30, 40 minutes. Or 20 minutes, something like that. But yes. Anyway. But we're here today for spooky game time now, finally. And I was like, oh, I gotta go and find the discs and all that. And I'm pretty sure I knew where the box was that had it, because the one that we're doing is Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. And it was in a box thing because I had the physical. These were originally digital ones, but then they finally did make them physical in this collection, which has the first 2, which is Coteries of New York and Shadows of New York. There's a third one, Revelations of New York, Revivery of New York, Redemption, I don't know, something like that. But it was a box thingy and all that. So I was pretty sure I knew where I had put it. And I found it and I brought it out here. I was like, all right, go get the disc out. Game wasn't in here. And then I was like, oh, I think I know where it is. It's just over there. So I didn't need to spend all that time finding this because the actual the game one from in here I'd kept out and put it over there. But it was not all for nothing because in that same box were 2 other spooky games that aren't out here because they're too thick to go in my shelving things. So we've got 2 other spooky games as options to do for this month. We've got Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo, which I'm pretty sure is a spooky-ish one. I mean, it says truth is sometimes worth the madness, so that sounds spooky, right? And then The Chant. I mean, that's a flippin' skull with gems in it, crystals. A ram skull thing or something. So that's spooky. Prismatic Science Spiritual Retreat. Yeah, that sounds horrifying. So it was not all for nothing. Kind of like excellent Italian plumber siblings. Yes, exactly. Yes. So this is outfit number 1 because we reached the thing, and also Big White Bear. We forgot when you did it, but you get to pick 5 colors for 5 nails from yesterday because you did the gifted subscription of 5. Yeah. Same colors as before. I need to actually remember to bring my white one out. There we go. There's all the colors. You're able to pick 5 colors, and but that means Dimitri can have 10 now. Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, no worries. That's all good. Yeah. Speaking of Dimitri, this is a problem. I can't put my hand on my head because that's not my head, but that's my hat. There we go. I spoke to Dimitri yesterday. It's past midnight. It's flipping 20 to 3 a.m. And he's worse. When I spoke to him the other day, he actually wasn't that bad. He just sounded a little bit sort of, or only very barely, vaguely stuffy-nosed and so on. But, no, when I spoke to him yesterday, very bad, very, very bad. So he's not getting better, he's getting worse. And then he was getting terrorized by a snake out the back of his house or something like that as well. So, who knows when we'll see him? Probably not for a while. But he said he's working on getting better. He was trying to go outside to get some vitamin D. But he said he was going to go outside to get some vitamin C. I said, how? Because, I mean, vitamin C does exist outside, but like, do you have an orange tree or something? But he did get his orange juice, so he can go outside with his orange juice and get both some C and D in him. So, yes. And congratulations, Viking, on coming second. I hope that you're well and wonderful this evening. Now it's equal. I got 10 and Dimitri got 10. Yep. Hi, Viking. Happy to be. Good early morning, Salem. And thank you very much for the hydrate. I feel like we got to do minor flourishes with everything, right? Because it's got to match with the character. So we got to like throw things up and all sorts of things. Can't juggle, so we're not gonna juggle. I don't do magic tricks anymore, really. So I mean, I used to do some card things. I don't have any cards around me to do any stuff though. Can't really do many things anymore. Amount of practice a lot. I don't have my my calluses on my hands. They're very gently soft, so problematic. Even with the playing of the ukulele. So. And what is the outfit cosplay character? This is meant to be Willy Wonka. Meant to be. Or as it was called, to not break trademark copyright things, factory owner. I am the factory owner. You have boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of cards, but not ones that I'm going to shuffle. because shuffling bends them, and specifically with actual, playing cards, is they're usually a certain type of thickness, and they have certain types of coatings. The main ones that I deal with were bicycle. They're your stock standard type of ones, the classic. And I got bicycles. I got like two bricks, of bicycles. Well, maybe not anymore, but I had two bricks inside. I had a brick of red and a brick of blue. But I also have some fancy ones as well, very very fancy ones. I also have some tally hos and other ones and whatnot. But yeah, but like the original Willy Wonka, yes, not the Depp one. No idea. Never seen that one. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one. So it would be the not Gene Hackman. Who was it? Um, Gene Wilder. I was very close, very close. Um, yeah, so I've seen the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I've seen Wonka earlier this year, but I've not seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's the one with Johnny Depp. Yeah, yeah, that's the one where it's Wonka looks a little bit. Ooh, I think he wears more red in that. Yeah, it's more red that he wears. Well, so does the Charlemagne one. He's a bit more red in that too. Yeah, I'm the purple Wonka. Yes. Good, good. And there is a newer one too with the guy from the new Dune movies. Yes, yes. So that's just the Wonka one, I believe. Yes. I've not seen Dune yet. With Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa. I actually really liked Wonka, that one with Charlemagne person, Timothy Charlemagne. Yeah. Oh look, there was a Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka. Ah, yes, Gene Wilder. Anyway, right. So yes, today for the spooky game. Ooh. Um, as I said yesterday, we were going to try, and I did find it. So we will be doing the Vampire the Masquerade. We'll be continuing with Coteries of New York, which we did start last year, and I think we only did one or maybe two sessions of it. But that was it because it hurt my throat too much. Because it is a visual novel, and it is not voiced at all. So I had to voice everything. I had to read everything. Um, yeah. And I mean, Nikki had a lot of voice stuff for a lot of the stuff we did, but we finished that, and then the end part of the last one was a bit more of me reading more stuff. But yeah, so this is the dress up day one. We have another day to do this week, and then we have the new goal for 2 dress up days next week. And again, I don't have heaps of costumes and stuff, so if we do end up unlocking, a couple of weeks or something like that, there may have to be repeats. I don't have a lot of costumes unless I like makeshift some. I could do like I can do a teacher one because I've got my main actual jacket that I wear has your elbow patches, so it's very sort of typical professor type of thing, right? But then I have some other ones where I feel are a bit more professor like, but they don't have the elbow patches. But yeah. Yes. Anyway, um, right. Visual novel. I'll move the stuff over and we'll get into it, and I can start reading, and then my throat can start stopping. But yes, Dimitri, we will not see him for quite some time, most likely. Well, I mean, not this weekend. maybe next weekend, but yeah, we'll see. We will see. I will try and talk to him again later today and see if he is any better. Very good. And yeah, there's no news. That's it. I mean, we had deliveries. I had 3 or 4 deliveries. Yeah. He saw his chance and took off. Well, see, that's what I had said to him. I think I said to him, or I was going to say to him, because he's like, oh, he's so unwell. He basically got unwell the last night of him being away with his family and stuff. And the thing is that he said that he was going to take like an extra week off anyway, but he didn't really mean that. But then he's gotten sick now, and I'm like, I feel like you kind of did this to yourself because you said you were going to be away for an extra week after, and then he's sick now, so he's getting that extra week off. All right. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really have like an outfit that could have matched. So the outfits won't really match with what we're playing. This just feels weird because the fabric it's all made out of, and because I have to have my hair out for this as well. It's just, I mean, I wear hats. I'm a hat wearer, but I don't wear a hat like this. I don't wear it because it's just so soft, and then, but it just, I don't know. Anyway. Coteries of New York. Yes, we've done 5 hours, so I think we've only done maybe 1 session. I don't remember a lot of stuff with how we did this. Again, I do know that there was that real pretty lady that worked at, or that was her HQ base was at the back of a computer shop, and we went in there, and she was a online model that did videos, and she wanted us to join her in a video, but there were like chains and whips and hooks and stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And then they were like, well, you better leave before I kill them, before they kill me. So I left. I almost thought you were Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Could moonlight as that? No, I mean, he had the beard. He had a chin strap beard though, but he did have a top hat, but his top hat was dark, but he did have a coat. I mean, this stuff I think could be used for it if I change the colors, but we could just say I'm an alternative colorway. You unlock DLC for Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and you're using one of your fancy DLC extra different colors. You've gone the Willy Wonka colorway of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. So there we go. Okay, that works. That works. Because he had a bio tie as well. He did bio tie. Yeah, pretty sure he did, yeah. And I thought that because of the games, oh, yeah, no, yeah. Ah, there we go. Sure. Night 8. Yeah, so... Oh, it'd be good if it had like a recap or something. So we went no to that one. We've gone to some other one. Here we go. Okay, yes. Alright, how far back do we go? That's like, we're going real far back. Doing your best to blend in with the crowd, which is fairly difficult considering your upright position, you slowly make your way across the large room. Not really knowing what you're looking for, you focus on the details. A knowing smirk, a hateful stare, anything that looks even the slightest bit suspicious. After a dozen or so empty stares, you're almost ready to give up when suddenly something catches your eye. A young, skinny woman, hunched in the corner of the room. She gives you a bewildered look, a 1,000-yard stare that tells you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's her. As you walk towards her, D'Angelo emerges from the shadows right next to you. I don't remember that at all. Alright, let's just read the last little part. Alright. Okay, kid, I know you've got questions, but it's getting early and I don't feel like having a Q&A session right now. For now, you get one question, make it count. Our perp's gone and now we're on some psycho chicks stuff list. What the flip do we do now? Well, the good news is we know who we're looking for. The bad news, Valerie knows it as well. She's a scourge, kid. part enforcer, part assassin, all around pain in the behind. We'll be seeing more of her, you can bet on that. And before you ask, yes, we've run into each other in the past. No, I don't feel like talking about it. Alright kid, I don't know about you, but I'm turning in. I'll figure some stuff out and keep looking for our girl. Feel free to swing by the office in a night or two. And with that, he stumbles off into the distance, not even bothering to keep to the shadows. Can't see you blame him. It really has been a rough night. Alright, I'm vaguely remembering. We went out with some guy and we did some things because we're trying to track down someone for something. Yeah. That's the problem with not playing a game for a year. I don't know if I want to restart. No, we've already put 5 hours into this. We don't want to restart. 5 hours is too much. Alright, so what's this? That's just the dictionary. Alright. Alright, Juno and Agathon. Juno, the notes. You find the mystery of Agathon's research tantalizing enough to pay him a visit. Faith and Myth Part 2. Benoit Segal wants to meet you again at the cathedral. You wonder whether that mysterious priest will be there. A Noisy Reporter, Part 1. There's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's Haven. She could use your help with the problem. Strange Bedfellows. As you leave your haven, a homeless man bumps into you. You turn after him, but he blends into the crowd before you can catch even a good look at his face. Instinctively, you check your pocket. A note? Looking at Manhattan Bridge. Come over. D. And Jezebel's Childer. Sophie mentioned a gangrel neonate by the name of Tamika, who's made herself a haven in Prospect Park. The Ferrells aren't exactly a social bunch, even by kindred standards, but if you keep her from clawing your eyes out just long enough, she might be persuaded to join you. Because I was meant to get... The lady that let me be under her gave me a place to stay, and now I've got to find my own gang or something? Maybe? It's almost sunup though, if I'm reading that thing right. So I think I can only do one more tonight. Maybe... Yeah, no. Clawing my eyes out. I don't remember who Sophie was. This isn't gonna, like, tell me about certain people, will it? No. See, this is all based in, I believe, 5th edition, which is after when I tapped out. I tapped out after V20 because V20... I was in V20. So I'm not happy about the fact that they made a 5th edition and they changed stuff, and my actual original clan doesn't exist anymore. So, some of the things I'm not 100% sure on. Anyway, and I... Wait, oh no, I can do that one? Somebody's watching me, because it was so dark, I thought, like, it was grayed out, but it's not, it's just... Can you, like... How do I get that? I can't get the other one now. There we go. Recently, you're feeling as if somebody keeps tailing you. Try to confirm your suspicions. Somebody's watching me. Maybe I should do that one. Can't see them. Oh, wait. We're too bright. It's a spooky game. Hold up. I gotta turn the lights off. There we go. Now it should be dark enough to match the atmosphere of a spooky game, right? Oh boy, you picked a bad state to rely on people's blood. You're about to trip so hard. Ooh, I didn't have much of a choice, I believe. But good evening, Blank. I hope that you're well and wonderful this evening. All right, we'll go. Someone's watching me. We'll go with that one. Someone is following you around. Has been for a few nights, maybe longer. That can't be a good thing. The only question is what to do about it. Hello, Viking. Provoke the stalker to appear. Tell Sophie you have a problem. So is Sophie the lady? No, Sophie's not the lady that saved us and whatnot and everything. I think that's someone else. I think. So we'll try to deal with it ourselves. See how that goes. I kind of do want to restart. It's been a year. No one else remembers this, do they? I should restart, shouldn't I? Should I restart? I think I should. Because no one else has no... I barely have an idea of what's going on. I don't think anyone else has any idea what's going on, right? Ah, fiddlesticks, alright. How do I... We'll restart. I'm gonna take this off now, though. Because it feels ever so slightly itchy. Because of the fabric. But keep the hair out so it matches with the thing. There you go. Alright, we'll go restart. Overwrite. Overwrite? Oh no, we'll keep it there just in case. I think I went Bruja last time. Rebel against power and rage against the authority. A seemingly insignificant man with significant ideas will join their ranks tonight. Venture. The aristocratic blue bloods embody wealth, sovereignty, and control. A top-level corporate executive will join their ranks tonight. Toreador. The divas seek thrills of art, romance, and cruelty. Amidst stagnant undeath, a tormented artist will join their ranks tonight. Yeah, no, I went these ones. Ooh. I get to do the 5 hours we previously did all over again and maybe get further. New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate back when I was a human, I would have told you it's just superstitious bollocks. That we are all designers of our own destinies. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face you could have seen in the papers of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened in the very same place you're standing in right now, by the way. Fate? You decide. Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen a little longer. See, my mistake was that I flew too close to the sun, Icarus. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see its glow again. I was incandescent myself. I was good, I thought. I had it all. Money, looks, confidence, connections, men, women, a career, and a spark in my eye. The one you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of the light erupting from within and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided that would be... Nope, I can't see the very bottom left stuff, so I have to guess sometimes. I have to look down there to see it. She decided that would fit me much better. She was a 9th generation kindred, just like you, an apex predator. She probably enjoyed teaching me the peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. It's such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggart and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about fate. A message saying you're eternally doomed to be at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom, it was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me just her amusing subject. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. You might have wondered how I've learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. My answer is, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving you here straight from the plane and having you wake up in such an unfamiliar place was a little desperate, and I do apologize for it. But it is so rare for you to visit New York. 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you're here. I understand you still have that meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much, don't get me wrong. But it is precisely because I value it that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I'd trust to do the job well, and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy, asking you to breach the rules of our society like this. You might think it's impossible to get away with it unpunished. But this is New York, and I don't know about other cities, but in this one, fate really exists. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. This is how it begins. The music is pounding, and your pulse is keeping pace. This is one of those nights that makes you feel alive, even though it started with you feeling dead. First came the messy breakup, then the realization you have nobody to talk to about how much it sucked. Still, you decided to roll with the punches. One Facebook search and local events later, and you've found one Facebook search for local events later, and you've found just the thing for your malaise. A short subway ride, and you find yourself at the club just outside Dumbo. Not a fancy one, mind you, more like a slightly refurbished warehouse, but hey, at least the drinks are cheap. The DJ seems to really know his stuff too, alternating between cutting-edge industrial techno and classic Detroit cloud pre-sleazes, expertly feeling out everyone's mood. An hour passes, then 2. Usually you'd feel awkward coming to a place like this alone, but tonight you feel something soothing in joining the crowd, blending in, even as you allow the beat to take over. I should add the flippin' reading tag for this one. Sweat, yours, other people's, soaks through your shirt and pants in a matter of minutes. A thought pops into your head. From the outside, the fully packed club must seem like a stuffy, smelly nightmare, but here, in the thick of it, it becomes exhilarating. And you're not even on a pill tonight. There's this Latina chick whose curves are accentuated by the light dress clinging to her body, and she keeps bumping into you. Something tells you it only seems incidental. Yeah, it's a good night. You wish it could last forever, because you know all too well what the next day holds. Waking up, getting dressed for work, the commute, the 9-to-5 grind that will make you just enough money to pay the rent and keep living in your overpriced, terrible place of an apartment. And with Jessica moving out, it'll all be coming out of your pocket. You run some quick calculations in your head and immediately come to regret that you did. Never mind, you spot the Latina again. She is now next to another guy, hitting it off. Your chance of not going to bed alone, gone, just like that. Fiddlesticks. Your mood temporarily shot down. You leave the dance floor and stumble your way to the filthy bathroom. You take a look in the mirror and start to wash your face, obsessively. Over and over again. A voice from the past echoes in your mind. apparently Jessica. Well, not apparently, it says her name. That is Jessica, citizen slave. Something blue, cobalt blue, cobalt with a K. I've never felt like this with anyone. Seriously, I mean it. I feel like all of my relationships up to this point were test runs. A terrible way to compensate for my low self-esteem. She smokes. But this feels right. Finally. Be quiet, Jess. This was the craziest flippin' day of my life. Gosh, I need a smoke. Pass me a light. What do you mean? Cops took the lighter? There's one in your mouth. Just be quiet. This is not you. Not anymore. Oh, Jabba, shut up. This is so like you, acting like some sort of Clint Eastwood wannabe when I really, really need you to open up. You think you're impressing people with this tough guy act? Well, I know how broken you really are. You need therapy. Wow. Yeah, now that sounds like the Jessica of today. You raise your head and look in the mirror. You try to smile, but all you can muster is a self-pitying grin. And there she is. The Latina from before. She says you look like you need a drink. You hesitate for a second or two, then blurt out a surprisingly enthusiastic, yeah. You start to talk. It quickly becomes evident that she's into politics, and you are eager to please. This a game or my diary? Oh. You might be a corporate drone, but you spend a lot of evenings reading theory. Actual theory, not bastardized Twitter cliff notes. X cliff notes. And organizing for all manners of causes online. The status quo sucks. There must be something better. She agrees. I want a candy. Where's my candy, man? I'm off duty at the moment, so I've got no candy for you, unfortunately. But good morning, Lit. I hope that you're well and wonderful today. Hi, Lit. Hi. I'm walking home from work. Ooh. Then you probably do need / deserve candy for the energy. Health candy. Whether or not the candy is healthy, but it's health candy. So you can read the S word when a game character says it, but when blank says it, you need to replace it with terrible. Wait, what? I'm just gonna start swearing. Wait, what? What? I didn't read. What? Status? What S word? What? When does blank say the S word? What S word? There's a lot of S words. I didn't say the S word. I didn't say any S word. Oh, what? Sucks. You seem to subscribe to the same... There's a lot of S words here, mind you. You seem to subscribe to the same progressive political theories, have compatible ideas about the DSA's missteps, even watch the same YouTube channels. Your goals are aligned. Oh, and thank you very much for the hydrate voices. I hope that you're well and wonderful this morning. Sober? Yeah, that's a terrible word. You know. High voices. Ooh, yeah, that's a nasty one. She's a bit more radical than you would have guessed. You attended a few rallies, been to a few protests, but this girl sounds like she broke her share of faces and kicked more than a couple of cops in the testicles over the course of her activist career. Her zeal is infectious. She taps into pent-up anger that you didn't know you had. The noisy club stops working for you both, so you hit the streets. Just as you're leaving, the DJ starts playing All the Things She Said by Tattoo. Of course, you chuckle to yourself, trying not to slip into a bad headspace. She chuckles along with you. It's chilly outside, but soon enough you find yourself too invested in listening to the girl's voice to care about anything else. You realize you've been holding hands for a while. Ooh, it's getting serious. The subway car is empty, save for a stoic middle-aged couple and a drunk staring intently at his own feet. Plenty of room to stretch out, and yet she sits right next to you. Even anatomical terminology we need to get the game characters to describe fecal matter. Well, I don't know about that. You can feel her thigh pressing into yours, her breath on the side of your neck. Maybe it's the booze talking, but you distinctly hear her voice asking if she'd like to crash at your place. I've got a better idea, she says. At this point, you're down for anything. As long as it lets you spend just a few more moments with her. Minutes. She takes you to a sleazy motel in the Bronx, trading a few words with the balding, tired-looking guy at the front desk. He hands her a key. Still holding your hand, the woman leads you up the stairs. The room you end up in is almost comically stereotypically complete, with flaking paint and a sticky floor. Not that it matters, though. The moment you step through the door, she's on you. Very Shadow Heartsy. By the way, in fact, those games had vampire characters in them. Shadow Heart. Let's see. Shadow Heart. That's PlayStation 2. It's got a lady on the front? Or a guy on the front? No, it's a lady with a dog? No, that's a different one. Hold up. Shadow Hearts. It's got a guy and a girl on the front, yes. Holding the girl in the hand. Yes. I've never played them. I've never played them, but I've seen the cover. I've seen the covers of them. See, the thing is, so there was a game, right, in PlayStation 2 that I never owned. My uncle's partner at the time owned it, and I really liked it. I don't remember what it was called. I've found it, you know, a few times over the years, but basically it starts off with you getting killed. And then you're in a, like, it's just darkness or something, and there's someone there or something, and basically you've been saved by some person or something. And basically they're allowing you to be alive again, and you can control time sort of, but you've got to try and do all these different things to work out who it was that killed you or something like that. And so you've got to go back into the past. And you've got these little notches down the bottom for like how many times you can go back into the past, and you could do things, but then you keep dying and someone else kills you, and then you go and stuff. I don't remember what the name of that one was, but I always get that one. I would get that one mixed up with Shadow of Hearts, because I feel like that game had either the word Shadow or Heart in the name of it. But it wasn't Shadow of Hearts, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't part of a series. Was it? No. What? No, it wasn't. No. I don't know the name of the game I'm thinking of. This looks like a fighting one. Yeah, I've never played this one, but I've seen the covers. There you go. Time to be a blood snack, yes. Guy, Yuri was cool. Shadow Hearts is a trilogy of RPGs for the PlayStation 2, very dark, gory, horror-esque, and also filled to the brim with black comedy. Well, not gory, but they like to do a thing where locations are covered in blood. In other words, implicit gore. Yeah, the main one that I've seen the cover of is this one, where there's a guy and a girl. We'll have to get them one day to do on the PlayStation 2. Alrighty. You try to take the lead, but she's having none of it. Before you know it, you feel the rickety bed pressing against your back. It's sloppy, fun, fierce, and not once does she lose the initiative. Your hands reach under her t-shirt. Strange. It didn't look like she was cold outside, but now her skin feels eerily cool. As if sensing your confusion, she slaps your hand off of her. Yep. Shadow Hearts 1 and 2 were same story. 3 was different. Ah. Also, a lot of the monsters are fleshy and deformed. A lot of monsters tend to be fleshy and deformed. That's why they're monsters. She kisses your neck. You are overwhelmed by the sensation. Darkness. The taste of liquid fire and smoke on your tongue. Her voice saying, "Sorry, kid. I did what I had to do to leave this city in one piece. But don't worry. With my blood and your principles, you're gonna do just fine." She slams the motel door behind her as she leaves. You lie helpless on the soiled, pungent mattress for some time, minutes, hours, before you can focus enough to try and piece together your evening. It hits you. The big hunger. That's all right. We're in the Big Apple. We got the big hunger. We can do the Big Apple. We're all good. It grips you by the throat and makes your insides shrivel in terror. It's an all-encompassing emptiness that throws you on all fours. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that true hunger comes from the throat. It's a feeling in the throat. It's not a feeling from the stomach or, mid area down there. Hunger comes from the throat when you're actually truly hungry. True hunger. You crawl for a while, squirm on the floor in sundering pain, then jump to your feet and burst out the door. You black out. But they have shoulders that pulse like a heart. Okay. This isn't the room you saw when you last closed your eyes. Somebody curses at you, a small, naked, buff dude holding a short leather whip. Wow, what a goofy fellow. He throws a punch. He yells out several slurs. He hits you in the jaw. You black out again. In other words, deformed and fleshy. The guy isn't moving anymore. There's blood on his neck. There's blood on his arms. There's blood on the floor. There's blood everywhere. You could have just said that to start with. Wow, whoever did this is one sick puppy. Oh no, we're the sick puppy. You realize you're sitting on top of his corpse. You hear a whimper. Someone else is there. A woman. Her arms are tied to the bed frame, an eye mask over her face, red marks on her neck. Nope, back. Maybe there will be red marks on her neck in a second. This time you see it happen. You want to stop but can't. She almost manages to get a scream out, but it dies in her throat as you bite into the side of her neck. You drink. Blood. You're drinking blood. Maybe blood orange. We got some blood orange. Not a good boy. Probably something about the gravitational pull. Wait, no, hold up. I missed another one. They're not like anthropomorphic wolves that are completely limited by the state of the moon. You could swear you feel her life force escaping her body, entering yours. Suddenly terrified, you tear away from her. She's not moving, but she's breathing. There's barely a mark on her neck. The guy on the floor, though. The hand thing for pointing to go next is actually pointing at the guy. You double over in a spasm, realizing what you did. You feel like throwing up, but can only gag. Panic sets in as another realization dawns on you. Your heart is not beating. can you normally feel your heart beating? Like normally, like you can get the whatchamacall thing where you notice and you can feel your heart beating, but generally, do you notice your heart beating? Or at least not beating? Okay, I do know, I can, yeah, but I'm paying attention. When you're not paying attention, it's sort of like the whole thing of, you know, your nose. Your nose is always in your vision, but your brain it's it out, and you don't notice that your nose is actually in your vision all the time. But then when it's like brought to attention, you sort of notice that your nose actually is there in your vision. Probably one of those you never know what you got till it's gone things. Yeah, okay. Once it's not there, you'll notice. Yeah, I suppose. Because when it's beating, you know, it's more erratic, you notice that. So I suppose, and yeah, okay. There's no breathing coming out of your mouth. Again, that's one I feel like you're paying attention to you notice. I might have a heart or two. Time Lord. You have to get out. Get someone to call an ambulance, for yourself at least. Probably too late for the guy on the floor. Did you really kill him? What a mess. We got flippin' Keanu Reeves here. You look up. The door to the room is ajar. A tall, handsome, broad-shouldered man fills the entire frame. He brushes an imaginary speck of dirt off his perfectly tailored suit. Call 911. Out of the way. This is not what it looks like. Hey man, this isn't what it looks like. That's good to hear. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you're in a world of trouble. Oh. He surveys the room, not moving an inch from where he's standing. He shakes his head in mock concern. Murder, assault, that's 25 to life if you're lucky, but since you're not, it's a death sentence. He takes a glance at his expensive-looking watch. Lucky for you, it's been a slow night. Otherwise, I might not have gotten here in time. Come on, the sun comes up in a few hours. You don't have to be around here when it does. You don't want to be around here when it does. As we're going through this, I'm remembering us having done all of this. I'm pretty sure something's about to happen and we're in the garage and we go make a choice, or they're about to cut our heads off or something. The sun, I need a doctor. Flip you, I ain't going nowhere. The sun, I need a doctor. Screw the sun, man, I need a doctor. A doctor will do you about as good as an undertaker at this point. The man approaches you and starts talking. His tone remains unnaturally calm. Oddly enough, you find it both soothing and slightly unnerving. Now, what about bats that feed on blood made humans go, if you cross this with a human, it would become a pale guy who lives forever, unless they come in contact with the sun. You misread that. It didn't say flip. In fact, I would argue it was crude synonym for fornication. Maybe. Now listen to me. I know this is all new to you, but I've dealt with hundreds of strays like you, and going by experience, they tend to fall into two categories. First, there are the smart ones who carefully obey my every word and don't try to pull off anything stupid. I always get them where they need to be, safe and sound. And then there are the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who tried to contact somebody secretly and without permission. The troublemakers who tried to run off or make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, most of them never reached their destination at all. His voice becomes slightly bored and monotone. You can tell he's given this speech before, likely dozens of times. So you see, while I generally consider myself pretty smart, I'm also a Mets fan. It's my one true weakness, one that inspired me to come up with a 3-strike system when dealing with pups like you. If you get on my nerves once or twice, well, I understand, but all of us perform well in stressful situations. But cross me 3 times and you're out. No excuses, no forgiveness, no mercy. As he's talking, he slowly approaches you, adding a bit of a theatrical swagger to his walk. Eventually, he leans in, deliberately invading your personal space. You realize it's a test. He's daring you to do something about it. 3 strikes and you're out. Say, I understand, sir, now. You've never been too eager to bend the knee to anyone, but this is something else. The man's very presence instills a primal fear in your heart. We're standing over a whole, the dead bodies all around. This fellow showed up. We're not in a state to mess with people. We've got fear in our heart. I think I understand, sir. Glad we have an understanding. Moving on. Is there anyone you'd want me to inform of your current situation? Tell them you're all right. Ooh. He flashes his fangs briefly. Ooh. And for some reason, the sight sends a chill down your spine. There is something very wrong about him. Someone closest to you. Ooh. My ex-girlfriend. My girlfriend. Well, it was a breakup, so she's the ex-girlfriend now. I mean, hold up. How far can we go back? Fish. We can't go back that far. She broke up with us, right? So we'd still care about her. Yeah, alright. My ex-girlfriend. Jessica, my ex-girlfriend. She kinda hates my guts, yeah, see? But yeah, I suppose it would be her. The stranger gives you a puzzled look and decides to prod further. A little more charisma or compensation wouldn't be out of place. I can be charismatic. Now, why is this story told in the second person? Hey, you're dead already. What can happen, right? I mean, we don't fully know that we're dead. I mean, I'm not breathing, heart's not pounding. That's why I was like, the doctor, give me the doctor. So I don't think it's fully set in for our character that we're actually dead. So, we can still die. I mean, we can still die, but also, I think we can still probably think. We'd still assume, I mean, even if it's just happened, we've got to come to terms with the concept that we're dead when that happens. So I still think we'd have that natural thing of, oh, we don't want to get beaten up and die. So yeah. I think if I'm gonna lie, it's probably gonna be outside of my posterior anyway. Lying inside there wouldn't just be uncomfortable. Some people like that. The closest person in your life hates your guts. This time, something resembling a look of pity. He turns his eyes to the corpse on the floor. When it rains, it pours, I suppose. Well, if you'd like to ruin her day and let her know you're all right, give me her phone number. I'll have someone take care of it, discreetly, of course. You hand him your smartphone so he can copy the number from your list of contacts. Thank you. This will be useful in illustrating my next point. I don't think many bend that way. Oh, you'd be surprised. Instead of giving you back your phone, the man hides it in his pocket. From this point on, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up under, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure these laws are respected. Goodbye, phone. What about all of our top score on Fruit Ninja or something? I don't know. Does Fruit Ninja even exist? Do people even say that? You are forbidden from letting anyone know you're still alive. You are forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes looking for you, it's over for both you and them. He interrupts his monotone recitation and stares deep into your eyes. So unless you want your girlfriend to end up at the bottom of the Hudson, I'd suggest you cooperate. Ex-girlfriend, unfortunately. He proudly displays his fangs again. You've put Jess in danger. Fiddlesticks. I can only hope that you care for her enough not to do anything selfish. His words are meant to imply otherwise, but by now it's obvious. He hates your guts as much as you hate his. He's itching for a fight, and you're almost willing to oblige. Alright, I think that's enough lecturing for today. We're on a bit of a schedule here. Now, I don't need to hurt you, but I can do this... Nope, but I can do so in the blink of an eye. What do you know that I don't? What kind of circles do you hang out in? Sorry, what? Honestly curious. Wasn't paying attention, I think? Just let it be known, if you ever invite me to a party, I'll be hesitant. Tagging the bot, I see. Just so that we're clear, I have the authority to end you right here, right now. This is not an idle threat. So are you going to play along, or do we have to do it the hard way? Punch the stranger. Follow the stranger out. Call for help. We know the whole thing with, you know, we just said about, oh, we'll possibly just put our ex-girlfriend in danger. We're not going to mess with him. I like the pattern on his suit, though. We'll follow him out. You weigh your chances, but it doesn't look promising. The guy's fit, determined, and looks like he means business. You, on the other hand, are confused, exhausted, and on the verge of a panic attack. Yeah, fine. I'll go with you. He almost looks disappointed. Wise decision. Follow me, please, and close the door behind you. I'm pretty sure these are pretty much almost exactly probably the same decisions we made last time. Now, I don't think that said anything about a stick that resembles a string instrument. In fact, I would argue it was calling for divine damnation. Bend that? Bend what way? I don't find it believable for too many individuals to be able to lie inside the confinements of their posterior. I think the spinal shape it will require is just dangerous. You just take out a couple, you do like Marilyn Manson. Take out a couple of, yeah. Is that a real thing? Or is that just one of those urban legend things? He didn't actually do that. Didn't actually take out a couple of his rib cages. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if he did, though. That was for something a little bit different, but you know. Close the door behind you. You take one final look at the woman who's just coming to, at the body on the ground. This is messed up. Absolutely messed up. You pull the handle and close the door. The man leads you downstairs. You contemplate signaling the bald guy at the front desk, but he's too busy watching some 90s action flick on a small, ancient-looking TV. He seems totally oblivious to your presence. You hear a dejected Jean-Claude Van Damme say, "I just want to go home," as you're walking by. Your would-be kidnapper stops by the door and addresses you before opening it. I think actually one of the recent packages arrived actually was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. I mean, we haven't opened it, but I think. Unless you're gay, then you can... Never mind. But the option said lie out your behind, which specified for the posterior to be that of yours. Look, I don't care what two consenting adults do behind a closed door. I'm just worried for the individuals who are able and willing to do such things by themselves. Could be just adventurous, you know? Yeah, see? No one's done it until someone's done it. And then if you get to be the first one, I mean, you might even get to be in Guinness World Records book. I know what you're thinking. I don't think you know what everybody else in flippin' chat's thinking. Wow. You're thinking, as soon as he opens the door, I'm making a run for it. Maybe I can outrun him. I'll save you the trouble. You can't. You can either get inside my car, and I'll get you to where you need to be, or you can try something stupid that you'll regret later. Do I make myself clear? Clear as day. Day, huh? He opens the door and gestures to a black Cadillac Escalade parked right outside the building. Oh, we got a police there. Oh no. After you. Make a run for it. Get inside the car. Following the stranger's instructions, you make your way to the car and get in the back seat. The door locks behind you. Inside, the Cadillac is almost entirely dark. The side windows seem light-proof. The man gets in the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives away without another word. His eyes seem to be not on the road and on us. Oh. And that's like seems to be a fairly sort of old-looking thingy there. I mean, I could maybe see that with being a with for the disc and stuff. But I mean, that could also just be tape deck, kind of. I don't know. It doesn't look too modern, but it's alright. I'm thinking you look cute in purple. And in the obituary column. I'm thinking about this cool bug I saw on the road. It was dead, and presumably still so. Highly doubt it became revived after I saw its corpse the first time. I know you really don't want to know what I'm thinking. I'm home now. I made it. Whoa. I made it up the hill. Fantastic. Well done and congratulations. Are we going to a hospital? Did I die? Who are you? We're still, I don't think, yeah, I mean, that's why it was a question, did I die? But I don't know, I think we still might be, it's just said we're almost at a panic attack type thing, so I think, still not going to have clicked in yet. Are we going to a hospital? If you're taking me to a hospital, I doubt my insurance can cover it. Ooh. The good news is, medical bills aren't likely to be a concern anymore. Whoa, fantastic. And in the United States, that's probably a good thing. He weighs his next words carefully. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not in the mood to wax poetic. About the state you're in, or my role in tonight's events. Just remember, if you want to survive the next 24 hours, you'll have to play along. You can't do this! This is some shady nonsense. This is a nightmare! This is all a flippin' nightmare. The stranger smirks. Understand that this is for your own good. Times being what they are, you should consider yourself lucky. You drive in silence for about 20 more minutes. As exhaustion catches up with you, the street lights fade into a blur. Yeah, I vaguely remember this. Eventually the car stops and the doors open. You emerge from your dreamlike state and find yourself in some kind of underground parking garage. You two are the only ones here. The man points to a nearby door. Go on in, make yourself comfortable. If you get hungry, again, take a look in the fridge. I'll pick you up tomorrow and you'll get your answers. Behind the door is a small room. No windows, just a simple bed and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. A small fridge is humming away in the corner, accompanied by a rattling AC fan in the wall. Guess I have to trust you? I'm not going in there. This is messed up. I'm not going in there. Because, what is this? I'm freaking out. Somewhat, almost. He's not really giving us answers. No way, I'm going in there. We both know you are. Remember when I said you were lucky? I mean it. See, my job is to get rid of problems, but I'm not always this polite about it. This time, I was specifically told to mind my manners. So believe me when I tell you, considering how this night could have turned out, being stuck in here for a night is a really good deal. Ooh. Now get in, or I'll throw you in. Walk inside the room. Yeah, that flippin' looks like a horror thing. You step inside. The stranger nods. Good night. You close the door behind you. It looks sturdy, but as he's locking it, you notice claw marks all over. Looks like some previous guests weren't satisfied with their stay. Whoa. You decide not to dwell on it and check the fridge. There's a single plastic bag there, filled with red liquid. No label. Tomato soup? Woohoo! You feel sick to your stomach. Best to leave it for now. You lie down on the bed. It's a simple mattress on a metal frame. You can't help but think it looks exactly like the bed back at the... Nope, exactly like the one back at the hotel with the bound woman. Oh, right. You killed a man tonight. Or did you? Maybe none of this is real. Maybe it's all an elaborate prank. The girl at the club, Jess might have put her up to it. The tall guy's clearly in on it too. Now he's back with them, and they're all laughing their behinds off. You don't know what to think anymore. Your mind races, but you're too tired to keep it going. Finally, you tense up one last time before drifting away into oblivion. Glad you're home safe lit. It's trade sample day, so I'ma sit here and dissociate watching you play the wood. World of Darkness. Why is this glorified book sold as a video game? A supposedly interactive piece of audiovisual media. Now, I don't think that was nonsense at all. In fact, I would argue it was describing the excrement of male cattle. Free food. Now, whom is this individual supposedly stranger than? Comparatively, tends to be useless without the point of comparison. You wake up. That in itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel quite like sleep, more like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how death feels like. The room is unchanged. The lamp is still on. The AC is still rattling. The refrigerator still humming. You take a look at your watch. It's almost 9 p.m. You've slept for 17 hours straight. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone, and you feel no thumping in your chest. Does that qualify as dead if you're still conscious? You're not sure about that, but you are certain about one thing. You are hungry. It's not your stomach rumbling, though. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. You open the fridge. The bag is still there. You take a closer look at it. If it is soup, then its color and texture are off. You pull the cork out, take a whiff. You recognize the smell immediately. You gotta be careful because the bass coming. Oh, fiddlesticks. There's no mistaking it. It's bagged blood. The smell is faint, and you remember some situations in the past where you found it nauseating, but now it's almost... No, not almost. It is enticing. Put bag back. Oh, little fangs. Drink the blood. Ooh. It feels wrong, but right now, there's barely anything in your life that doesn't... Oh, fish sticks. Would we just pour a bit of the liquid into our mouth? It tastes bland, reminds you of cheap supermarket juice, just enough flavor to register as what it claims to be on the box, but nothing like the real thing. Nothing like what you had last time. You swallow it. Somehow you don't feel sick. In a weird, messed up way, you can't help but think it feels nourishing. You take a few more sips, and then just another one. Suck on the bag a little more. What? You take a few more sips, and then just another one. Suck on the bag a little more. Eventually, you find that you've emptied it entirely. Or, you look at the info pressed into the side of the bag, 450 milliliters of it. Whoa, that's almost 2 whole glasses. Because a glass or a cup is 25 milliliters. 250 milliliters. So, almost 2 cups full. Even with its blandness, you still feel like having more. You realize your body longs for that intoxicating high you felt when. An image of that corpse crosses your mind, causing you to wince. What have you become? You try to piece your thoughts together, make sense of it all when you hear the lock click, and see the door open. Standing there is the well-dressed stranger you met yesterday. Immaculate suit again, that predatory look, like a hawk on a hunt, but somehow more relaxed tonight. So, like a tamed hawk, maybe. Good evening. Slept well? He notices the discarded empty bag. I see you had a bit of a snack. Yeah, got any more? Was that really blood? This is messed up. Where? That fridge right there in the corner. Hangry. Suck it. A snack. Oh boy, that was flippin' blood. What the flip did you do to me? Are you part of some rich people's child-eating cult? I mean, what's more likely, vampires or rich people's child-eating cult? I think they're probably both just as equal, just as likely as each other. Instead of replying, the stranger just gives you a pitiful look. What clan are you? You can only choose from 3. What was there? Fish sticks. I don't remember. I chose the top one. Fish. Not Toreador. Not... What was the other one? There was only 3 to pick from. One was a lady, 2 with guys. The bottom guy was Toreador. Fiddlesticks, hold up. Nice Shadow Hearts. Bruja. Yes, that's what I was. Bruja. That's what we went with. Don't need to search now. Inquiring gang affiliations. I feel like it's a 50-50 chance, yeah. Ugh, no, rich people eating babies are real. Bruja, Toreador, Venture, Malkalvian, Nosferatu, Treme, and Gangro. Say, because this game is based on 5th edition, and they've changed the clans, the sects, in this from the other ones. So yeah, because my actual one doesn't exist anymore. I used to be fish. What was I? I want to say it started with a G. Giovanni? That doesn't sound right. Hold up. I want to say something like that. But that one doesn't exist anymore. Whatever I used to be, yeah, they've thrown it out. So it's going to be interesting when they come out with the second one of the big one that everyone really liked. And it's been coming for a very long time. Bloodlines. Because you could be my one in the first Bloodlines. You can't in the... Well, I mean, I don't know if you can't in the second, but I assume you won't be able to because they made 5th edition and they took me out. Yeah. Yeah, that. The bards and bouncers. I like a Malkov and a Nos. Nosferatus, I don't. Oh, they're... Someone called me a Nosferatu once, and I was like, wow. That's wow. Oh. And they're like, what? I didn't mean it as an insult. And I'm like, you've just called me a flippin' disgusting, horrific rat. It is the most putrid of all of them. Everyone dislikes them. They're the sewer rats of vampires because they literally look like sewer rats. That's why they're called Nosferatu, because they look like the horrific Nosferatu of Nosferatu. Nosferatu. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Giovanni. Ah, yes, then, yeah. They were like the demon summoning guys, eh? Like a demon vamp mobsters. Something like that. Bruja, Toreador, and Venture for this game. Ah, yes. Wait, yes. Venture was the lady, I believe, yeah. I played some of the most foul and upsetting Nosferatu in LARPs. I have made more than one person run from a room wanting to vomit. So proud. Even the rats look better. Not a compliment. Well, they said it was a compliment. They meant it as a compliment, but it's not a compliment. They did get upset, though, that I got upset from their compliment. Yeah. Because I'm like, that's not a compliment. Wow. Come on. We've got places to be. I mean, I could make you into a pretty good nos, though. But I mean, still. But, like, I'd need to glue a lot of stuff to you. Go use that. What do they call it? Sugar glue? Sugar gum. Sugar gum. Spook gum. Spirit gum. Spirit gum, that's the one. The car is humming in the empty parking lot, just outside the door of the cramped room you have spent the day in. The man motions to it politely, but with a stern look on his face. Rush the stranger. Get inside the car. Hijack the car. Oh, calm down. I'm trusting you here, man. I'm touched sincerely. You take the back seat again. The doors lock. The stranger takes the wheel and starts the car. You drive in silence for a while. From time to time, you keep trying to catch glimpses of familiar streets or landmarks through the blackened windows, but it's of little use. We're probably not even going to get up to where we were up to. So, for those who weren't here at the start, I played this game last October. We only played about 5 hours, PlayStation said. We're on to day 6, or night 6, or whatever they call it. But I didn't remember where we were at or what was going on or anything like that. So we decided unanimously that we would restart. And again, so far I'm pretty sure I've chosen like all the same choices, but I don't know if we're going to end up getting up to the same point before the sun rises in real life, because then it's no longer spooky game time, because it can't play spooky games when it's daylight. So, yeah. Spirit gum is an option, and also liquid latex. Relativity, one of my Nosferatu is why I am now allergic to latex. I gave myself toxic shock with covering too much of me in latex for too long. Guys, do I want to be a dwarf or a hobbit? Hobbit. What game? Can you choose to be a dwarf in that new? No, because it's about the Shire. They wouldn't have dwarves there. And also, there's that on my the Instagram reel things that keep popping up and everything. There's that lady that dresses as a hobbit, and she's standing in front of like a hobbit whole house thing and stuff. She's very excited. Very excitable. Yeah. Hobbits can cook better in my opinion. Tales of the Shire or Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. I see, yes. Right, yes. So you don't get to choose yourself in Mines of Moria either, which makes sense because, dwarf land. So, haven't played either of them. One day. No, Mines of Moria wouldn't be considered a spooky enough game that we could play it. Golem might, but Golem's meant to be quite bad. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. The car is also soundproofed, so all you can hear is a bit of traffic rumbling in the car's engine. The driver doesn't say anything and seems focused on the road. You check the door handle. Yeah, the door is locked all right. The piece of dark glass separating you and the front of the car looks sturdy too. There is nothing left to do but wait. You didn't have time to think about it before, but you realize now that you're hungry? No, not exactly. It's not a rumbling stomach that grabs your attention. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. They use the exact same lines before. You'd try to extract some information out of the man behind the wheel, but you realized you'd prefer to bask in the afterglow of your last meal. You wouldn't have expected it, but you spend the rest of the trip lost in your thoughts. A lot of them concern blood. It takes you another 20 or so minutes to get to your destination. As the door opens, you try to get your bearings. You're still in New York. That much is certain. Queens, maybe. After me. No sudden movements, please. You approach a nice-looking building that houses a 2-story gallery called the Art Hole. 2 large men in suits flank the door on both sides, and they give your companion a nod as you approach. Prompted by the stranger guiding you, you walk inside. The gallery is full, which is unusual at this hour, to say the least. Alright. Still remembering this as we're going through it. I'm remembering it. About 24 faces fill the showroom, and a number of waiters navigate the gathering, serving drinks. All of them are beneath the guests' attention. The visitors are well dressed for the most part, but it's unclear what they have gathered here for. Excuse me. Moria is really cool if you have friends to be dwarves with. Ah. I don't think I remembered that was multiplayer. Oh, is it cross-platformable or whatever? Nobody seems to be particularly interested in the art pieces on the walls, and the atmosphere is polite. Unnaturally so. Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their chances are varied. Flippin' vampires like their art. Even if they don't like their art, they like their art because, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was almost a flippin' art gallery in the other one, the Swan Song, which we haven't finished either. We only, I think, played once or twice last year, October as well. We'll do that one this month as well. I don't want to restart that one as well. But that one's a normal sort of game. This being a visual novel, a little bit different, so that's why we restarted this one. That one we probably won't restart. You see open contempt on a few faces and animated interest on others. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you, as if wishing to praise your worth. Appraise your worth, not praise your worth, appraise. The last time you felt like this was at your previous job interview. It was like being a piece of livestock, inspected from all sides for any imperfection, so your wage could be haggled down. It was dehumanizing and made you feel dirty. When they called you the next day to offer you the job, you declined. Even when you're a nobody, you become even less if you trade away your dignity for a paycheck. The memory makes you feel warmer inside, even now, although the state of your bank account never did. The woman. Good evening, Kadir. And to you, child. The noble, cold voice takes you out of your head and back to the situation at hand. The gallery, a crowd of strangers, you being brought here against your will. For what purpose? The room awaits your response. Good evening, miss. Excuse me, what? Good evening, miss. You are addressing the Prince of New York City, Helen Panhard, child of Michelle. Michaela. Michaela, perhaps. Doop. It is online, co-op, cross-platform. Ooh, and also single player. Ah, good. Oh, wow. Now they're insulting sex workers. Salem. Great game. Really. Wait, what? How? Where? What? How? When? When? Michaela, I think it's pronounced. Yes. Or Michaela. Michaela or Michaela. Yeah. Apparently, it's a Filipino brand for something as well. Child of Michaela. Thank you, my sheriff, but I am capable of introducing myself. She is somewhat plain-looking and doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm, but still the entire room is intently focused on her voice. She has influence over these people, that much is clear. You may address me as Prince, child. I realize your introduction into unlife was abrupt, and I understand your sire left shortly after. The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transgression. A murmur of agreement, maybe, can be heard from the gathered audience. But I'm willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say about the circumstances of your embrace first. I don't understand. Punish me for what? Remain silent. You decide it's best to stay silent and listen to the whole situation unfold. It feels like you're out of your depth here. It's above my pay grade. Shall we begin? You're about to be judged by the court of New York City. Kadir, please tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here. Court, Prince, is this some kind of secret society make-believe? A trusted informant, who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time, tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found them gone, but this fledgling remained in their place. The hunger made him savage a prostitute and his client in a Bronx brothel belonging to one of the ministry. I have already spoken to Sansarich about this and made sure it'll blow over. The fledgling proved to have quite the nerve and an unruly tongue. Wow! Surprisingly enough, he offered little resistance last night and cooperated on our way to the safe house. I was pleased to not have to force his compliance. Whew. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged him to join me, which he did without struggle. Again, a pleasant departure from my usual routine. His thirst partially slaked with the bagged blood we kept in the safe house, we had a pleasant enough drive here. The story ends with us arriving at Elysium tonight. Elysium. All eyes are on you again. You take a special interest in one of the faces. It's a beautiful woman with curly, almost blood-red hair and a dress to match. You see her whispering to some bespectacled man with an absent-minded look on his face. Who is she, you wonder? Thank you, Kadir. I take note of this fledgling's behavior and will take it into consideration later. She turns her attention to you. First, there is the matter of your sire, the person who brought you where Kadir picked you up from last night. Who were they? The feisty woman. A Latina woman, very radical, unless she convincingly lied to me. She was special, extraordinary. She had fire, conviction, temper. She seduced me. Easily, in fact. Made me think she wanted me. I fell for it. It wasn't my fault. And now I'm here. Have mercy on me. It feels awkward talking to a room full of strangers about what seemed like a random one-night stand at the time. Not to mention that even though the Latina made an impression on you for sure, her face is already fading from your mind. You realize she never even told you her name. Well, Kadir, does that sound familiar? No, it does not, or at least not familiar enough. I will continue the search after we're done here. Can I go now? What happens now? The receptionist she spoke to may know her. That lady, she rented our room at the hotel. Talk to the receptionist. He might know something about her. Unlikely, but regardless, thank you for that observation. I will investigate this later. What shall I do with the fledgling, my prince? What is your recommendation, my sheriff? The traditions are clear. Thou shalt not sire another with the permission of thine elder. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny shall be slain. I am ready to fulfill my duty. Stay your hand for just a moment longer, Kadir. I wish to consult my counsel on this. Make sure everyone is in agreement. Of course. He seems strangely relieved. The prince leaves the main showroom, and a handful of people follow her out. You're about to ask this Kadir what all of this talk of traditions and councils was, when the red-haired woman approaches the two of you. So it is Sophie. That was Sophie. See, that was the main reason why I restarted, was because it spoke of Sophie. I'm like, I can't remember if that was the lady or not. It was the lady. There we go. Yes. Ooh. Sheriff, I was wondering if I could have a word with the fledgling. What for? She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Kadir. We all know what the verdict is going to be. Let me speak to them. You might not have to stain your hands tonight after all. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions are struggling for domination. Anger, sadness, hope, gratitude, resolve. I'll go get my sword. Ooh. He steps out of the room the way you came, and you are left in the showroom with the woman in the red dress. She takes you aside, and the eyes of remaining guests follow you. Well then, fledgling, you are in quite the pickle. What do you mean? What was that about a sword? What is this circus? What do you mean? I still don't understand what my crime is here. Poor thing. This really isn't your fault, but if you want to get out of here in one piece, you need to understand one crucial fact that seems to have eluded your grasp. Last night, you became a vampire. Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. Calm down. What? Oh yes, I'm well aware of how ridiculous that sounds. It's the reason why we have these nicer words for it. Kindred, being embraced, having a sire. The fact remains. The beings called vampires, you're looking at them. They're us. You glance around. Some of the guests are still occasionally looking at you, commenting on you in hushed tones. Many of the patrons are pale, really pale. Most hold glasses of wine. No, not wine. That's not the right thickness, and not the right color either. Ooh. You're trying to come up with something sensible to say, but you're drawing a blank. It makes a morbid kind of sense. You drank blood last night, there's no denying it, and your breathing has not returned. Your heart remains still. A vampire. Two voices in your head start battling for supremacy. One of them slowly begins to put everything that happened since yesterday together, coming to a conclusion that no matter how insane it might seem, nothing but what she's saying makes sense. The other voice just keeps saying, "What the fish? What the flip?" on repeat. You're surprised. This is often how it plays out by design. Kadir deliberately keeping you in the dark and all. If we do nothing, you will be cut down as sure as day follows night. But I'm here to offer you a chance, a way out, under one condition. I will take you under my wing. If you're lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and your deference to Kadir will work in your favor. She might agree to this, but only if you swear fealty to me. I am not making this offer lightly. As your patron, I will take responsibility for you. Your actions will reflect on me. If they reflect negatively, well, I will make sure you face the consequences. What happens if I agree? What if I refuse? You'll make me your servant? Suppose I say yes. What happens then? You survive, hopefully, or not, depending on the prince's whim. I'm giving you a chance, not a guarantee. But if you take me as your patron, I will be your guide in this new reality, and you will assist me like a child would a sire. Steps and hushed voices can be heard from the side room. It seems the prince and her council are returning to the showroom. Kadir appears from downstairs as well and starts walking towards you. When you hear the verdict, ask to be spared. I will intervene. Remember my condition. She flashes a heart-melting smile towards Kadir, who does not smile back. The sheriff's immaculate suit is now complemented by a curved, oriental-looking metal scarab, fastened with a colourful sash around his waist. It would look vaguely ridiculous if it weren't surprisingly intimidating first and foremost. Kadir takes his place next to you and observes as the prince takes center stage again. Loyal kindred of the New York City Camarilla, gathered here tonight, I have made my decision regarding this fledgling. She briefly addresses you. I want you to know that this was not an easy decision to make. For your part, you have not done anything to earn our ire. I do feel a genuine sorrow for what must be done. We are all keenly aware that these nights we need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our elders and their traditions more than ever before. There is no place for tolerating dissent when our very existence is under constant threat. Although I acknowledge some of my council's divergent opinions on this. She takes a look specifically at one of the people who left the room before, a rather plainly dressed, shy-looking man whose skin has a somewhat healthier tone. He bows his head in deference. I hold the final authority over this fledgling's fate, and I declare that while their embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in their absence, it is their progeny that must be punished. The sentence is final death, to be resolved presently. Kadir. You hear a scraping sound and see that the sheriff has unsheathed his curved sword. It is a beautifully detailed blade, which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you freeze up. 2 outs. Bottom of the ninth. His quiet mumble is audible to nobody but you. As his eyes meet yours, you note just a hint of sadness in his countenance. One that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination. And he's about to bat. You will not get another chance to speak up. Ask for mercy. Escape the gallery. Remain silent. Ask for mercy. You make your choice. I'm not going down like this, gosh darn it. Spare me. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer. Kadir looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at the moment's notice. Is there something you would like to say, Ms. Langley? Yes, if I may. At first, the prince looks somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The bored elite suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. The prince nods. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward. All eyes are on her now, but Kadir's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance, they could become an asset to our domain. Am I to understand you are volunteering to take this sireless child under your protection? Yes, I happen to think they might hold a potential that would be unfortunate to waste. I do expect their full cooperation, of course. Whispers can be heard again, an incredulous voice or two, a hushed, just behead the guy, some expressed exclamations of surprise. Silence. I ask all of you to make a note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish to shoulder, Ms. Langley? I am willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in a time of need, yes. But I would like to receive the right of destruction over them, if it pleases you. Give me a chance to prove myself, Prince. Destruction, oh no! It's clear tensions are high. It feels surreal to listen to strangers discussing your death, or second death apparently, and keeping silent. You decide it's for the best to let Sophie handle this alone and not interject. You have no idea how to handle this eyes wide shut crowd. The prince looks at you as if weighing your worth. She takes another good measure of the room before she speaks again. I shall grant what you ask. Let it be known, Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose will become this fledgling's patron. They shall be considered like sire and child. Ms. Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I grant her the right of destruction, if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla, substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Ms. Langley. Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, child? Shouldn't I use a nickname? Oh, now you're asking my name. My name's my name. It's me, Prince. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla, Salem. And we've got a dictionary updated. So the red words is when we get the dictionary thingies. Now, this evening proved to be even more eventful than I anticipated, but with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can be concluded. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Kadir, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties. Of course, Prince. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched. You will be judged. And if need be, you will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, Salem, I think we've both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new fruitful partnership. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierges, who have now reappeared in the showroom to refill the guests' glasses. The conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. He pours it into two tall glasses. It's blood again. That much is clear. You're in two minds about drinking it, but the memory of last night's hunger makes you wince. You take a tentative sip. You expected the same blandness you tasted a few hours ago, but this one you can actually savor. It's smoky and warm, making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. Ooh. It does strike you as a strange image for your mind to jump to when drinking human blood, but it is what it is. You've never tasted anything like it. Do you like it? I think New York City caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood should taste like. Apologies, you must have so many questions. While we were on the topic, perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. How much do I have to drink? Where do you get the blood? What if I refuse to drink? How much do I have to drink? I feel this hunger constantly. How much do I have to drink to make it go away? Oh, now we maybe learn about a beast. The sad reality is, it will never go away. No matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more. Unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop, paying for temporary relief with their life. But that is a one-way road to losing your humanity. Best starting by just taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more satisfying. Nope, will be more satiating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass, but it can make you more ferocious. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky and will tempt the beast that is part of our curse. Which the main thing of the Camarilla, right, or whatnot, is the less the beast I am. No. Less the beast I am, less the beast I become. No. The beast I am, less the beast I become? Something like that. Tomorrow I shall take you hunting, and we will explore this topic further. The blood you're having tonight should be enough to keep you happy for now. You mentioned a beast. That beast you mentioned, is that a metaphor or... Oh, it's quite real, although not in a strictly physical sense. It lives in all of us. Our nature and hunger manifest. Those more religious among our connect. Those more religious among us connected to the biblical Cain, the rage of the first murderer, cursed by God, seething in all his descendants. I, however, am a child of the Enlightenment. Not that this makes my struggle any easier. I have to be wary like every other kindred in this city and beyond. Individual kindred each have a unique relationship to their beast. What yours is going to be remains to be seen. But you do need to keep it under control. Each outburst endangers not just you, but also the Masquerade. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile and leans in to whisper in her ear. You note that the gallery is now almost empty. I'm being told the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My apology. Nope. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. The smile she puts on makes you remember the way you felt with the Latina. It's not arousing, though, more like magnetic. You find it hard to argue. Even though you're still suspicious of her authority over you, her charm momentarily wins you over. Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven middle-aged guy, starts driving immediately. It looks like the same car. Where did we leave off? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is the Masquerade. As you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So, to the vast majority of kine, we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? Vampire Angel? Is that the spin-off from Buffy? What was that called? I never watched it. There was a character in Buffy and they got a spin-off show. Is it called Angel? It's just called Angel, is it? Angel? It's just called Angel. Yeah, there you go. Good evening, Judge. Hope that you're going good. You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a little bit more dejected than before. I suppose, younger folk wouldn't know about Angel. Maybe Buffy, because it was so popular, but even then, probably, asterisks on if people knew about that. Our Clarenstein ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip up to the rational minds of 21st century humanity, and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. Hi, Judge. What's the risk? Is your driver a vampire too? So what's the flip side? So, where are the perks here? You're a vampire, but you need to keep quiet about it. What's the point? There has to be a flip side, right? Don't get me wrong. We have power, immense power, influence over mortals. Immortality has its benefits too, of course. But we have many enemies, and some know our weaknesses as well. For one, sunlight burns us. That's why we rest during the day. You felt it. More like being dead than being dormant. Isn't it? Isn't it? But we have no choice. We are night dwellers, but day sleepers. Some more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze, which, under the right circumstances, can often be the same thing. So that's sort of like, what's that other, it wasn't a series, it was a series of movies. Underworld, I think. Underworld was like that, with the stakes not killing, paralyzing, I think. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver, Gregory, making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. The Masquerade sounds like nonsense, so it's good to keep human friends. Do vampires watch each other's backs? You mentioned enemies. I guess that makes it necessary to watch each other's backs. Can you count on other vampires for that? She surprises you by letting out a soft chuckle before answering. No. Our little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage counting on someone. Support given in exchange for favors, yes, that's more like it. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. When you're in Elysium, like we were tonight, the sect can appear to be monolith. The reality is more complex. Outside of official gatherings, shady deals and a quid pro quo mentality reign supreme. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things you've learnt tonight. It still seems absolutely unreal, but as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've witnessed. Many questions swarm your thoughts, but the one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops. You are in the city, in front of an old but well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? My own apartment, neat. Is it another parking lot room? How long do you expect me to stay here? My own apartment, neato burrito. I get my own apartment? Whoa, that's groovy. Consider it the first of many gifts that I am able to grant in exchange for loyalty. Come upstairs. She leads you through a small hall with a night guard who greets Ms. Langley with a good evening, and you take the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Is it weird that I'm getting hungry at 8:30 p.m.? Not really. I mean, have you had dinner though? Have you had dinner? And if so, when did you have it? If you didn't have dinner, that's fine at 8:30. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night, including thick blinds on the walls. The back room has a comfortable-looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy-looking locks, but no windows. Yes, not half an hour ago. Ooh. Then yes, getting hungry now. Maybe not exactly weird, but did you have enough? Well, how do you like it? This is great, thank you. What, can I choose another? It feels too nice. It's nice, in this very agreeable way, you know. Lacks character. Well, I would appreciate it if you could hold back the need to redecorate. I am actually really fond of the decor here. I didn't mean it like that. I think that exactly happened last time when we played this. I did that thing and I was like, that's not what I meant when I chose that one. Tomorrow I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors, just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Kadir could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even if only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns. Kojak reruns. President of the United States got himself in serious trouble again. President of the United States got himself out of trouble again. Pundits started yelling over each other about things that seemed a little bit less insignificant just 2 days ago. You start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and world-view-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have the chance for either. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a deep sleep last night, you settle in the back room. The bed is comforting, the lack of windows less so. You leave the light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest you'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms you. A few moments later, your consciousness fades and you take the plunge into darkness again, sinking, sinking, sinking. Whoop. Oh, nope. Okay, what you can't see is there's a little circly thing with a sun and a moon, and it moved, and then this is where we choose our stuff, but we can't choose anything outside of rest. So we're going to do our rest. I mean, I suppose we could I mean, there's also many. New. We're on Sheriff. Sheriff ensures that the traditions and decrees of the prince are obeyed, hunts down violators, and delivers just punishment. In the case of minor violations or known enemies of the Camarilla, the sheriff is usually authorized to act as both judge and jailer/executioner. But when it comes to greater offenses, they will deliver the accused to the court to be judged. I'm not going to go and read all the other ones now. We've been reading so many already. The vibration from me talking reverberates within me and almost makes me a little lightheaded. We shall rest. Tutorial! Hunger is at the heart of a vampire's existence. To ignore it is to tempt the beast to take over in its desire to feed. To overindulge in feeding may threaten the masquerade while staining what humanity you have left. In Coteries of New York, having high hunger is indicated by a progressively thicker, bloody frame around the screen, like the one you see now. As your hunger grows, so does this indicator. Your hunger may increase when you call upon your vampiric powers or when you need to mend your wounds after a fight. When your hunger reaches the maximum level, you'll receive a warning after you complete a piece of the story. Ignore it at your own peril. Some choices might only become visible if your hunger is high enough. Similarly, high hunger may block off some choices, as you will be able to see after pressing continue. Blocked off option. Oh no! To decrease your hunger, you will need to feed. Whenever you see a feeding opportunity, you can take the risk to hunt and slake your hunger. Blocked off option. Feeding opportunity. You will need to keep the hunger at bay if you are to uphold the masquerade and survive the nights that await you. Woo! Daytime, and now just into nighttime. You open your eyes. The bed isn't warm. The room is filled with artificial light from the ceiling. The solid metal door is closed. Normally, you'd stretch for a bit. On some mornings, you'd probably throw the quilt over yourself and snooze a bit longer. But that was before. The way you woke up now, you were fully conscious. No grogginess, nothing weighing you down, just the nagging need in the back of your head. Hunger. Not as severe as the last time, but unmistakably there. You get up and open the door to the main room. A digital clock on the TV shows you the time, 9 p.m. You walk over to the blinds and retract them cautiously. The only light coming in is New York City's artificial nighttime luminescence. So that's what your waking hours are going to look like now. You miss the sunlight already. You're seriously considering just walking out of the apartment and figuring this all out by yourself. But then you come back to the memory of Kadir's exotic sword being raised in the gallery. Maybe sticking around isn't that bad of an idea after all. You keep jumping channels for around half an hour and then switching to streaming services. Almost as if the universe had a sense of irony, you catch True Blood in the flood of recommendations. The doorbell rings. I believe I still have a couple of my bottles of the blood drink from True Blood. I've never seen True Blood, but I know there's a drink in it. When I had my store back in the day, I actually imported a case of 6 of them. And I believe I have at least one still in the back of my fridge. It's empty. The drink was a blood orange drink. Tasted it was a blood orange drink. The problem is they sort of cheaped out on those bottles with us, unfortunately, because they were like only very lightly painted red, and if you wash them too hard, it can flicker off. Yeah, True Blood. Oh, that brings back memories. But yeah, I've never seen it. That's the one. I think there's a character named Snooky in it. Is that right? Snooky? Snooky was in, or was Snooky in one of those other shows like One Tree Hill? It was around that time. I think there was some Snooky. Snooki might have actually, yeah, was, no, I think maybe Snooki was a character that was in, was an actual person that was in like some sort of reality show. Not One Tree Hill. I don't know, something like that. It's Sophie. Good evening, Salem. Slept well? Like a baby, like a dead man. It's not exactly sleep, right? It's not really like normal sleep, is it? I suppose it isn't. Some say it's more like being dead, but we wouldn't know, would we? It's no use reflecting on it anyway. Except that this is who you are now. You made the right choice yesterday. I can teach you many things about yourself, your blood, its desires and its powers. We will begin tonight. You are hungry, yes, I'm sure you are. Our kind always is. There is only one remedy, the blood. The drinks we had yesterday at Elysium are not the usual way you slake your thirst. So tonight I will assist you in your first foray into hunting. You need to learn to sense the kind of blood you desire, to understand how you can use the kind's vulnerabilities to your advantage. Snooki was from Jersey Shore. There we go. Reality TV. Snooki was the blonde from True Blood. Wait, no. Suki. Ah, very similar indeed. Ah, there you go. Snooki and Suki. But I've seen neither. I'm ready to learn. No more freebies. Predator and prey, huh? Grim. I'm ready to learn. Well, I'm ready to learn. Let's get started. Such eagerness, or is it just your hunger making you impatient? You will find that drinking moderate amounts of it regularly will keep the hunger and the whispers of the beast away. You might think yourself monstrous, but there is a balance to be found here. The kiss gives the kind pleasure. You might remember this from your own embrace. Some can even become addicted to the sensation, but if you do it right, they tend to misremember your feeding. After all, vampires do not exist. They are myths, fairy tales, and pop culture mainstays, correct? I remember where this goes. I remember where this leads. I'm excited for it again. She gives you a sly, knowing smile. That is why the masquerade is so important, and even more crucial when you feed. How do you avoid being seen? How do you cover your tracks? How do you select the victim? How do you cover your tracks? Biting people leaves marks, right? And the victims remember your face. You shouldn't concern yourself with leaving marks. These are easy to conceal. You just need to bite carefully and then lick the punctures closed. That's all there is to it. As for being embraced, like I mentioned, the kissing is an ecstatic experience, so Kine can barely recall the details. If even when they do, this city is enormous. You could spend days on the streets and not see the same face twice. Use that to your advantage. Feeding from the same area repeatedly can be dangerous, but by branching out, you risk the air of other kindred on whose domains you trespass. Lucky for you, New York City is more forgiving in this regard. New York is in somewhat of a unique position. Many of its neighborhoods remain contested or unclaimed. The reason for this is a lesson for another time, but keep the following in mind. So, suck and lick. Like tequila shots. Probably, I don't know. I think I've got tequila in my cupboard, or a bit of it left. It's not mine. Well, I mean, it is now. But, yeah, I've never had tequila. Never had tequila mockingbird. Take opportunities to feed when they present themselves these upcoming nights. As long as you hunt cautiously and respect the masquerade at all times, you should be fine. To wit, I want you to join me for a trip tonight. Come downstairs. Gregory is waiting for us. The busy streets fill the air with traffic noise, pedestrian chatter, and a mix of smells that disorient you momentarily. These warm bodies contain what you want, what you need. You catch yourself. Did you really just think of these people as mere sources of blood? It takes a nudge from Sophie to break your train of thought. Her driver opens the door for her and then tips his hat to you, gesturing to the back of the car. The car casually joins the somewhat thinned New York traffic. It's still busy in a way only one of the biggest cities in the world can be, but compared to the daytime commute, it's a pleasant drive. You barely have the time to gather your thoughts and formulate new questions before the car comes to a stop. You're among the tall skyscrapers that make up Manhattan's iconic skyline. Come, Salem, park the car, Gregory, will you? The driver just nods and Sophie gets out. You join her, and the two of you walk through the glass doors together, then take the elevator up. You first notice an empty stage where the instruments of a string quartet still in the back. Then take in the few dozen chairs in front of it. The concert seems concluded. The patrons, all smartly dressed and posh, have spread out all over the hall. Sophie strides confidently inside, produces an invitation from her purse that she flashes in front of a security guard. You follow close and are let through without issue. Let's start easy. A social setting like this one would usually prove quite challenging to an inexperienced kindred, but consider this evening a small gift from your patron. I'm hoping to procure for you a willing vessel. Just remember what I told you about taking small sips. This one I have a soft spot for. Don't damage her. Now, let's see here. Ah, there he is. She notices somebody in the crowd, flashes a heart-melting smile, and suddenly even you felt drawn to her. You haven't thought about it before, but it's laid clear before you in this moment. Sophie is beautiful. Just looking at her is a privilege. Just being with her makes you feel elated. Everybody in the crowd, but especially the man who's almost tripping over himself to reach her, clearly agrees. Edgar, I'm so happy to see you. How is your daughter? Is she with you? Oh, there she is. Julie, my girl, come over, please. There is somebody I'd like you to meet. The young woman who walks across the hall can't be more than 19 years old. It's clear from her mismatched earrings and the partially faded purple hair dye that she doesn't fit this crowd. Julie, this is Salem. I think the two of you should get acquainted while I talk business with your dad. Awfully boring stuff, I assure you. I'm positive you'll like each other. The girl gives you a shy smile and nods toward the balcony stairs. You follow, somewhat unsure what it is exactly Sophie expects you to do. You reach a secluded space from which the entire lobby is visible. All eyes on Sophie. They listen intently, then laugh when she does. Julie saves you the trouble of figuring out the next step. If you're with Sophie, then I guess you're, she's got a little tattoo. I didn't remember that last time. She's got a tattoo. And I'm pretty sure the tattoo is a cat in space with a little bubble helmet on. Is it? Yeah, I didn't remember that. Oh, fiddlesticks. I know someone with a tattoo like that. Anyway. Purple hair too. Yeah. She puts her wrist to her lips and gives herself a theatrical nip, then looks to you embarrassed, but also hopeful. Yeah, I do. I don't know what you're talking about. What, you're into that sort of thing? Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. She takes off her jacket, unbuttons her sleeve, then rolls it up. You see a tattoo of a cat in an astronaut suit, one feline eye winking at you. There, just enjoy. A perfectly awkward smile and a blush. Drink from Julie. Don't drink from Julie. We're gonna drink. You take her forearm in your hands. A quick look around confirms nobody's watching, and no security cameras cover this area. You bite down gently. It's surreal. She's just given you her blood of her own volition. How is this possible? What about the masquerade? You need to ask Sophie. Your thoughts disappear amid the bliss. There's just the taste, sweet, fresh, sanguine. You drink, and drink, and drink. No, stop, stop, stop. You tear away from the girl, harder than you wanted. Still, the bite leaves just tiny punctures, almost as if by instinct you lick them clean, and the two holes become concealed, just like that. Julie is now leaning on the wall, pale, wobbly on her feet, but happy. She lets out a dreamy sigh, opens her eyes, a few tears fall onto her shirt, tears of joy. Thank you. Please, can you walk me downstairs? Please? My dad, he doesn't know. Thinks it's a condition. Ms. Langley told him so. She leans on you and requests you walk her over to a bench. She takes a seat and smiles at you. The crowd around Sophie disperses slowly. Looking at her now, only some residual awe hangs in the air. Yes, she's pretty, maybe even beautiful. Sure, but not your type. What came over you before? You walk over to her. Edgar, dear, it was splendid talking to you, but we need to get going. Give Julie my best wishes. Come with me, Salem. Nope, just come with Salem. Come with Salem. There we go. Gregory is waiting for you out front. It's only in the car that Sophie addresses you. I can tell from your look that you took the opportunity. Good for you. That girl's exquisite, don't you think? You wouldn't tell by her demeanor, but she has so much passion. It brings out a unique bouquet in her blood. Her blood was delicious. She knows who we are. I feel like I took advantage of her. Her blood was delicious. She was something else, to be sure. Delicious. I could barely stop myself from drinking more. I'm glad you did. She is one of my favorites. Consider tonight special in this regard. I do not share her with just anybody. Time for the next stop. Training wheels off this time. Gregory, Flushing Meadows, please. The driver takes the car over to Williamsburg Bridge. You settle your thoughts. What did you do to the people back there? What's that thing about training wheels? Why Flushing Meadows? Those people back at the hall, they were all entranced. Even I was under your spell. What was that? She smiles with satisfaction. That old trick? Just the blood doing my bidding. We all have our talents. Some of them come from the legacy we inherit from our sire. Others can be learned with experience. I can sway people or make them fear me. I see more of the world and in greater detail than some kindred. I can will my body to move with unparalleled precision and grace, and more. All of these skills make me who I am. They also help me hunt. What are my powers? How do I use my powers? Do I need my powers to hunt them? How exactly do I use these talents? You will the blood to do your bidding. Many times you'll find you do these things intuitively, although passively. But making an entire room focus their attention on you, that is tempting the beast. Always keep the masquerade in mind. However, it is all fine if you can disappear in plain sight or command animals with your mind, but save those overt talents for the right place and time. It only takes you half an hour to reach the park at this time of night. Both you and Sophie leave the car, with Gregory left behind again to find a parking spot and keep an eye on the car. Thank you very much. Great. You've got to be careful. If you're reading so much, please remember to hydrate. I get very lightheaded and with all the reading. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you very much for the hydrate. Very much appreciated. We're almost at the end of this one as well. And you got to remind me when we get to the next bottle that we do a flavor. People got to pick a flavor for me. All right. Sophie seemed deep in thought. She takes in the surroundings with a dreamy gaze. The sky is surprisingly clear tonight, the stars just barely visible in the light-polluted aura of the city. I feel like having a snack myself. I'll be by the fountain. Go look for somebody to your liking. See what effects you can achieve with your blood. But only pick one victim, just one, then come back. Seeing how she seems not altogether here right now, you decide to leave Sophie to her own devices and seek out your prey. From here, it looks like you have a few choices. Just taking a stroll around the park and finding an isolated jogger, or someone like them could work. But focusing on one area might work better. The New York State Pavilion might work as a secluded spot. There's a skate park nearby, and worst case scenario, there's bound to be some unfortunate wino around. Or maybe the tennis court's nearby. There's light coming from there, so somebody might still be playing a late night match. They won't be alone, but they might be tired and let their guard down. As these scenarios play out in your mind, you realize you're planning how to assault a stranger in the middle of the night. It's a weird way to be, but the now familiar hunger prompts you to act. Search for a victim around the park. Hunt near the decrepit pavilion. Look for prey at the tennis court. Take a walk, but don't feed. Hunt near the decrepit pavilion. Because that's the darker one, right? And stuff, yeah. You make your way to one of the park's most well-known landmarks, the round skeleton of the New York State Pavilion. It's with its two vague, futuristic-looking towers. You don't get lucky with the skate park. It's not deserted. Instead, a group of skaters is gathered there, talking loudly and listening to music playing out of crackling smartphone speakers. Deciding to take a quick look around, you identify a potential victim, a sleeping bag lady, leaned back on a bench, a shopping cart full of what looks like trash nearby. One of these might be the right opportunity to take. Feed on the sleeping bag lady. Presence. Grab one of the skaters' attention. Ooh. We're still, sampling things out, right? But she did say go and see what your blood can do, so I think maybe we'll try presence and we'll grab one of the skaters' attention. You think back to what Sophie did in the hall, how she managed to focus the attention of the entire gathering on her. That might be a tall order for you, but a single person could be doable. You single out a guy who's talking on his phone away from the gathering. He's having a heated discussion with somebody, a relative, a partner. It's not going well. This talk's over. I said, be quiet. Hey, you hear me? Be quiet. Call me when you get some flippin' sense into your silly brain, okay? I think this is literally what I did last time. He ends the call abruptly and almost throws the phone to the ground in frustration. Man, I need some help. Hey, sorry to interrupt. Rough night. Rough night. He's got an angry expression on his face and tears well in his eyes, but he gives you a curious look and even a bit of a shy smile. Yeah, you could say that. What's up? Come closer, let's talk. I just got the cure for that downer. I want to show you something. Come closer, let's talk. I got a cure for that downer. I want to show you something. You probably think I've got drugs or something. I got something that will put a smile on your face. He takes a few steps towards you, away from his buddies, who remain totally oblivious to what's happening, but you see your influence fading. You take your chance and lunge. Your fangs sink into his exposed shoulder. He shivers and lets out a moan. His phone hits the pavement and you hear the case cracking. His blood tastes like a clash of hot emotion and melancholy, laced with some artificial stimulant you can't quite place. An energy drink, a recreational drug, it's a strange mix. You hardly have the chance to savor it, as the proximity of the skater's friends makes you feel vulnerable. You hastily finish drinking and drag the guy over to the pavilion. When you turn around, you realize you're not alone. A hooded man is looking menacingly at you. Yeah, this is exactly what happened last time. It's a hoodlum. What do you think you're doing, barging into my turf like this, slick? What kind of a slur is that? Didn't mean to trespass. I'm gone. Be gone, or else. What did you call me? A lick? What is that supposed to mean? Don't be cute with me. I know what you are. Shove that masquerade nonsense up your behind. Better tell me who you're with before my posse shows up and we beat it out of you. Hoo 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 hoo. I heart beer, and he's wearing a Mikey jacket. I'm here with Sophie Langley. I'm with the Camarilla. Big talk from a chump. You talk big, but I'm thinking you're just a chump. Want to prove me wrong? He tenses up, gives you an extremely nasty look, and bares his fangs. You don't want to push your luck, fellow. My crew is in earshot. One shout away, and you're D-O-N-E done. You get what I'm saying? So if you want to dance, let's dance. Once I'm through, I'ma hand you over to the Callahan, and you're gonna be sorry. I'm gonna hand you over to Callahan. I didn't finish you off instead. Celerity. Run back to Sophie, fast. Call for help. Attack him. I'm gonna run back to her fast. You take off fast, faster than you've ever run. The hoodlum has trouble keeping up, but howls behind you like an animal and gives chase away. Anyway, as you reach the Unisphere again, you slow down, noticing two people near the sculpture, a man and a woman tangled in a passionate embrace. No, not exactly, it's Sophie feeding, but this whole scene is set up so that it looks like a couple getting intimate in public. She pulls it off like she's done it 100 times before. It occurs to you that she probably has. The man is unsure on his feet as she lets go of him and leads him towards a nearby bench. Noticing you, she whispers something into his ear and leaves him. Her driver appears from behind a tree. Well, Salem, how did it go? You're about to answer when the same figure as before emerges from one of the alleys. He looks at you, the three of you, and a predatory smile creeps onto his lips. You thought you could run away from me, Lick? Think you'll be safe with your friends? Well, I have friends too. He makes a motion to shout, but two things happen almost at the same time. First, that feeling of warmth and beauty emanating from Sophie flares up again, entrancing both you and the hooded thug. His shout comes out as a weak, confused squeak. Second, Gregory produces a wooden stake from a holster under his jacket and slams it into the thug's chest. Just like that, in a few seconds, the posturing vampire is down on the ground, paralyzed. I see you've made a friend, Salem. Curious choice of company, I would say. Who is he? He knew well was a vampire. He said this was his turf. He mentioned Callahan. He said something about presenting me to somebody named Callahan. Ever heard of him? She looks shocked for a split second, then recovers her regular countenance. Yes, I have. This hoodlum is Anarch, then. Curious. Corona Park has not been claimed by any kindred last I checked. Let's go to the car. We'll put him in the trunk and present him to Kadir tomorrow night. I'm sure he'll be delighted to make this unbound's acquaintance. Gregory carries the staked vampire and dumps him in the car's trunk like a mannequin. It's a strange sight, and you're quite happy you're not in that poor fellow's shoes right now. It's almost surprising that you can get away with this, with just casually throwing a stiff into your car and driving away, but then you remember that Sophie has been doing this for far longer than you have. Still, the nagging thought that anything you did tonight could have been recorded on a CCTV camera or picked up by a rando with a half-decent camera phone and streamed online fills you with dread. Hunting and using your abilities is a dangerous business. It's clear that this whole being a vampire thing has just about as many caveats as it has perks. You're taken out of your headspace by Sophie's voice. I will pick you up tomorrow night. Same as tonight. I have some business to attend to at Elysium, and I expect you to accompany me. Plus, our friend in the back needs to be properly introduced to Kadir and the prince. I'm sure he'll have some interesting things to say to the court. Her voice is cold, cruel, and nothing like the enchanting personality she showed at the gallery earlier tonight. Sophie is clearly a woman of many faces. What's going to happen to him? Good riddance. The guy's terrible. I'd do the same thing in his place. What's going to happen to him? What's going to happen to him? The usual, I imagine. Interrogation by Kadir, probably in the basement of the gallery. A quick trial with the prince in attendance if she's there tomorrow night. A swift execution as the verdict. This all sounds eerily familiar to you, and you can't help but feel a pang of guilt when you think about what awaits this guy tomorrow night. You haven't told me how your hunting went. Getting the hang of it, I would hope. It'll take some getting used to. I think so, yeah. I think I am, yeah. I'll cope. I'm glad. She doesn't question you further. She seems distracted, not all there. Her thoughts drift from the car, remains silent until you reach your apartment. We will pick you up tomorrow evening. Good night. Just like that, without any further courtesy, Sophie leaves, driven to her apartment by Gregory, with a body in the trunk right in the middle of Manhattan. Did you cross paths with situations like these in the past, unknowingly? What other secrets did you pass on the street without knowing their true nature? Your haven is just as you left it hours ago. Although the sun won't come up for some time, you feel tired. You learned something about yourself today, and it'll take time to process. You're not in the mood for television, and the few books on the shelves in the apartment are either in languages you don't speak or sound like a boring read. Nothing left to do but rest. You settle in the back of the room, lock the door, a moment of hesitation, but then a decision. This time, you turn the light off. You think back to Julie. How many people in this city know about this vampiric society? How many are willing accomplices in sustaining it? And the thug you met in the park, if he's not Camarilla, then what is he? Are there independent vampires? How does that work? More questions. You begin wondering if there's ever going to be a night when you can start crossing them off the list, instead of adding to it. You close your eyes. You sink into the now familiar void of nothingness. It greets you with open arms, like an old friend. Now, off to lurk. Have a good stream. Alrighty, no worries. Thank you very much for stopping by, Viking. Very much appreciated. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And we look forward to seeing you next time, whenever that happens to be. And thank you very much for the hydrate. I think we maybe got one left. Got the thing again for me to choose rest. So it'll go night, go to our next night, and we'll probably do one more day, and then that'll be it, because it is 10 past 5 a.m. So it is still, like, you know, darkish, but it is ever so slightly getting lighter. So we'll get one more night in, and then that will do. Woo! Star of night. You open your eyes. It's pitch dark here, the blackness of a coffin drifting in the abyss. Oh, right, the light. You grasp for the switch, flip it. The familiar cramped room with a steel door and no windows comes into view. You emerge from the bedroom fully awake, just like yesterday. This time, however, Sophie is waiting for you, comfortably seated on the sofa in your living room. Living room space. A book in her hand. The Melancholy of Resistance. The title's sure on brand. Good evening, Salem. Good evening, Sophie. How did you get inside? Sorry to have kept you waiting. To be fair, I haven't been here long. I was enjoying reminiscing about the time when I called this my haven. The decor was much different, of course. Come, we have an appointment. I received word Elysium would be called again tonight on account of your unruly friend from Corona Park. This should be a great opportunity for you to mingle. She keeps talking as you walk downstairs and get in the car. Gregory gives you a slight nod and a small smile while opening the door for Sophie. He starts the car when you take your seat in the back. Most of the Primogen Council is bound to be there, at least those who usually attend. Probably some of other important personalities you do well to at least learn about. Who should I talk to? How should I carry myself when inside? More politics, great. You never told me if there's any savoir-vivre kind of rules I should respect when talking to other vampires. Knowing that you're among your superiors is probably the most important. In our society, status comes with age. Pardon my sincerity, but you are insignificant. Not even associating with me can make the fact that you've been kindred for barely a few nights be forgotten. So know your place. Stay out of your superior's business and show the utmost respect. Thanking the prince for sparing you and maybe giving a friendly chat with Kadir publicly might show your gratefulness for being a part of the Camarilla now. I would suggest you make it sincere. At any rate, you should behave yourself tonight. Remember what I told you about reflecting on me as your patron. I have a reputation to uphold in the court. Do not tarnish it. There it is. She might have saved you. She might be protecting and teaching you, but it's clear what she's really concerned about. Her own interests. You step into the art hall with something of a bad memory. The last time you were here, your entire world had been turned upside down and your existence nearly ended. But tonight, there is very little outward hostility. Yes, Kadir gives you a look that's definitely intended to remind you of your place, but the prince, also in attendance, seems pleased to see you. Welcome, Sophie. Salem, did I get that right? Good evening to both of you. I understand there is somebody else you wish to present to the court tonight. Yes, Prince. They will be joining us shortly. My assistant is retrieving them presently. This better be worth the prince's time, Langley. The prince gives Kadir a cold stare. Forgive the sheriff's harshness. He's in particularly foul mood tonight. Something to do with Salem's begetter eluding his grasp, I believe. Ouch, that must have hurt his ego, even if his only reply is a crooked smile. The mention of your sire makes you come back to all the talk of eschewing societal norms and disillusionment. With the status quo you enjoyed back in the club, look at you now, behaved, agreeable. She likely wouldn't be too happy with this whole setup. Prince, court, hierarchy, titles, but hey, she's gone. Probably forever. If you ever break out of this, it'll be on your own. The flaring up of whispers in the gallery hall breaks you out of your thoughts. Gregory enters the room. The jumpsuit-clad inert vampire still staked on his shoulder. The show's about to start. Sophie's driver places his charge in the middle of the room and nods respectfully to Kadir. The sheriff approaches the vampire and removes the stake from his chest. The captive's eyes flicker to life, and he starts looking around in disbelief. Like a cornered animal, he backs out on all fours, keeps going in circles until he realizes he's trapped. Kadir steps on the man's chest and pins him on the ground. Why? Who do we have here? Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh boy. No, come on, don't. Silence. The sheriff takes on an aura of utter dread. He appears as if he's a primal force of nature that's out to get you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do but shrivel in terror. The beast inside you shrieks, and you could swear it happens in unison with the insects of some of the other guests here tonight. It's unlike anything you've experienced in his company during your turbulent first night as a vampire. He really did go easy on you, all things considered. It seems like it takes all of the hoodlum's willpower to not crawl into a fetal position and start crying. No, please, don't hurt me. Man, don't. You and me are going to have a little chat downstairs at the prince's discretion. Please go ahead, my sheriff. You heard the prince. Get up. Let's go. He doesn't wait for a confirmation. He just grabs the man and drags him, kicking and screaming, out of the room. Conversations start all around you, some whispered, some quite overt. Sophie looks somewhat bored of the whole affair, her eyes wandering from art piece to art piece, clearly finding nothing to her particular liking. Torture in an art gallery? What could Kadir manage on his own? What happens now? So, what happens now? It'll be at least some minutes before Kadir gets the information he seeks out of this thug. Why not mingle while we wait for him to speak? Excuse me. Sophie leaves your side and goes to a corner of the gallery where a group of kindred, some seemingly pretty old-fashioned, gathered. A concierge offers you a drink, still warm. It smells nice. Take a sip just a sip to start you off. A splash over your palate, coating your tongue and the inside of your cheeks. Nourishment. You're left to your own devices. You have a quick look around. The prince is currently talking to a dark-skinned woman that you recall seeing near those few nights ago. She has a cold but noble countenance to her. The conversation seems to be casual. A loud, shrill laugh turns your attention to the bespectacled man who you saw with Sophie on the night of your judgment. He's making the rounds, chatting up different patrons. You feel somebody's eyes on you. A casually dressed, plain-looking man stands alone near a column. Watching you, he turns his gaze away sheepishly when he realizes you've noticed. Chat up the man with the glasses. The man notices your attention, but it takes a few minutes before he pauses his mingling for long enough to actually approach him. He looks at you quizzically. I didn't choose that, it just was there was no choice. We automatically go on to him, alright. Thomas Arturo, he says. Ah, there we are. Pardon? Who? Is that your name? I assumed you'd like to know. I know you, by name only, of course. Salem, embraced just a few nights ago, huh? Well. What's underneath? What's undeath treating you? How's undeath treating you? I'm coping. I'm beginning to like it. I'm miserable, to be honest. I'm coping. It takes some getting used to, for sure. Oh, it sure does. Sure does. Good thing we have an eternity to make the best of it, right? He takes a moment to clean his glass, completely ignoring you until he's done and puts them back on. His glasses. I'm sorry, got a bit distracted. You know most of us don't need to wear these, right? I can see just fine without them, but it's a statement. The darn things keep catching specks of dust and other assorted nonsense, though. Never stay clean for long. Sometimes I think they're more trouble than they're worth, wouldn't you say? If they're a pain, why wear them? They look good on you. You like it when things are clean. You, like it when things are clean. Is that a thing for you? I don't think you understood what I meant. They're glasses. What use are they if they're dirty? Alright. That wasn't a nice chat, but I have to catch up with a few other fellows tonight. Talk to you later. Jeannie. Hey, Jeannie. He doesn't even give you a chance to say goodbye. He's already off, grabbing 2 glasses off a concierge's tray and handing one to a mustachioed man nearby. Okay, we rest. What? We didn't save. It auto-saves. It surely auto-saves, right? Why was there a rest there? So we're only on night 3. We're getting there. So that's Sophie. I am assuming. Night ends, start of night. Once more darkness falls. Darkness falls. This doesn't seem right. Because what happened to all the rest of the stuff? You have these past few nights in the windowless room. As you pry open the reinforcer, you look out the window to see, invariably, a sky beneath the sunlight. And then it hits you, the hunger. For a moment, you let yourself wonder if there will ever come a night when it's just not there. Given what you've learned thus far, you probably have as much a chance of kickstarting your heart with jump cables. You lock the door behind you and head over to Sophie's apartment. You did promise to call on her. Might as well not keep the lady waiting. And hey, what else are you gonna do? Call Jess? Yeah, right. I think it glitched up there, and we missed the whole thing of everything else that was meant to Yeah. I think we missed... What? That's not right. Yeah, that wasn't right. Oh no, and it's autosave, so it's fiddlesticks. What would you tell her if she even picked up at all? She'd probably use the opportunity to stick some more needles in you, or worse, persuade you to come back. Or go back to work? Yeah, who are we kidding? HR probably found a replacement the day you went missing. Nobody there cares if you got kidnapped or turned into a creature of the night. These thoughts put you in a weird mood. It's a strange sensation to walk the crowded streets, same as you have so many times before, but feeling so disconnected, all these people, you're not one of them anymore. You're a vampire, kindred, and you need to carve your own path in this strange new existence. One way or another, appropriately enough, you arrive at Sophie's building just as that thought crosses your mind. A quick word with the security guard, and you're let into the elevator. Apparently, Miss Langley is expecting you. See, we don't know this because none of this stuff was said to us. And like I said, is with my other one, when we played last time last year, we go through that whole thing with the guy and everything and whatnot. Of course she is. It appears to be the ample moment to take over the bot with my rhetoric. My favorite blood type is AB positive. You knock and wait patiently as the footsteps on the other side grow closer. Finally, the door opens and Gregory, Sophie's driver, invites you in. You find the lady herself standing by the window, silhouetted against the city's moonlight glow. She stares out motionless like a marble statue. Because we haven't been here before. Everything all right? She doesn't react immediately, but seems to snap out of some meditative state and looks at you with strangely bleary eyes. Yes, it is. How kind of you to ask. Tell me, when you look out at the city, when you see the lights, hear the hum, smell the rain on the pavement, what do you think about? You gaze out. The lights and rain, the relentless honking below, music blasting from a nearby window, echoing off buildings. Someone should record an hour of this and throw it up on YouTube as an ambient piece. Other than that thought, it's business as usual. The sights, the sounds, the smells, you know them all too well. Sophie watches you. You can tell she's disappointed somehow, but she covers it up with a courteous smile. Well, not everyone can appreciate the intricacies that the world offers. In fact, among kindred, my clan is somewhat notorious for finding innate meaning even in the mundane. You see the blood that flows within me is that of Clan Toreador. There are 13 such bloodlines among the kindred, although that number has been contested in the past, and these nights it seems that nothing is certain anymore. See, it's been another night thing though, but so we missed the stuff with the previous thing, and so I don't know how it goes with like the choices that we make because we didn't get to make any choices. So anyway, we're past 3 hours. It's almost 5:30. It is getting lighter. The birds are starting to chirp, so that'll actually be it for this. So I'm not going to save and exit. I'm just going to quit. Because what I'm going to have to do is speed run through all of that again to get back to where we were and say something different to that guy. Again, though, it auto just sent me straight to him. I don't know if it did that the first time when we played. So yeah, fiddlesticks. Anyway. I have to redo all of what we just did tonight, but we'll be able to do it. I'll be able to do it quickly because I won't be reading. I'll just be speeding through. So yeah. I just have to make sure I remember the choices that I make. Anyway. Fiddlesticks. Let me get this stuff all sorted over. I mean, it happened at like the perfect timing though. Because, it's getting light, so it is getting to the time where it's too light to really be doing this. A couple of these pistachios. Oh, but there's so many that aren't in shells at the bottom. But yeah. But so we got up to night 3. And our first one, we were up to night 8. So I think we did 2 sessions of it last time. So, yeah, we just need to come back, do another session, but repeat all that. So we should be able to get up to roughly where we were at with our previous one. Tonight. If I get here earlier, slightly, and we get a couple more hours. But again, I mean, if I was here earlier, that would have happened earlier. I still have more time to do. Wow. Oh. Thing is, though, is that it probably would have seemed weird, but I might not have known fully if, I mean, it's kind of, you can piece it together that something's missing there because, you know, how we know where her place was. We didn't say that we were going to call on her. So, it just would have been a bit more strange. Gonna have to get some more because there's not a lot left. Which means I'm also gonna have to turn this redeem back on soon. For myself, I turn it on when Dimitri's here. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, here we go. Anyway, when will I be back? What will I be doing? Ooh. It's a shame that's the shells that are the salty thing. Wonder if there's like a pistachio spread or something. I know you can get like some cakes that have pistachio in them. I've never had them. I'd like to try one time, I guess. I think there's pistachio ice cream. I've never had that. Wonder if there's a gluten-free vegan pistachio ice cream that a local place sells. The place that does the gelato. I wonder if they have a gluten-free vegan pistachio gelato. Oh. All right, only a few more. What did I say? Oh, when will I be back? And what will I be doing? So I should put this on one last time. Right. I'll be back tonight. I'll be back tonight. And we'll continue this. / do it again. I might, before I start stream, speed through it to get to where we're at, but I might do it when we actually just come in. So, yeah. But I'll try to start earlier. I just had to do a couple of things after I woke up. Been Friday, last day for deliveries. If it would be fantastic, but it's not going to happen. The part that I need to get so I can fix my computer inside arrives. That would be great if it arrived today. but highly unlikely. So, half the bot stuff still isn't functioning. I mean, the bot stuff, again, wasn't even properly functioning today. Anyway, I started. Didn't do the start thing over in the Discord. But, yeah, when I went inside to recheck that, it's got a new thing. I'll have to look at that. Because it said something about quiz. I think it allows chat to like trigger a quiz for me, I think. I'll have to have a look at it though. All right. We end on a good one. Whenever we got a good one. That was okay. But we want one a bit more salty. All right, we'll go ones without things. They're always very salty. Ooh, yeah. Very good. Oh. Ooh. Very good. Alrighty. Yes. So, right. It's almost as selfish as a blood type can be. It can donate to AB negative, though, so it's like the glimmer of niceness. AB negative, on the other hand, can only donate to itself, and that's too selfish. No nuance whatsoever. Anyway, they don't tend to accept my blood for donation. Always so awkward to roll my bathtub away from there. Speedrunning visual novels is always very engaging. Glue tends to be gluten-free, but not vegan. But yes, so I'll be back this evening. So 18-ish hours roughly from now, give or take a few either side. And I'll be in most likely. I mean, it doesn't have to be next stream. It could be the stream after. But either next stream or the stream after will be outfit number 2 that was unlocked for week 1 of October costumes. The new goal is there for week 2. And yes, if we reach that goal, then we unlock 2 days next week of dress up. Anywho, pardon me. Yes, thank you everybody for joining this morning. Very much appreciate it. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the time happens to be for you. We'll be back to Nikki in, I think, we'll go on 3 days away until the thing went, so we'll be back to Nikki in like 2 days, roughly. Again, don't forget that in the Discord there is the channel for people to do the listing things of the Smash or Pass, and also there's some people that I did at as well in regards to the community artwork thing that's being done, just for their name things. But yeah, that's almost all sorted. Anywho, but yes, thank you very much for joining me. Very much appreciate it. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the time happens to be for you. Say hi to Mum for me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Hello, Gingerbread Salem. I see you have a banana threatening me. Well, ease up. Ease up. I mean, I find that quite inappropriate, Colourfully Woolly. You know, well, first of all, my middle pocket banana is not threatening. It's very thin. It's long, but it's soft. It's not threatening at all.